What's going on, everyone? Gelman with Wellthy Stocks, back with another Palantir update video, ticker symbol PLTR, where we take a look at how Palantir stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Palantir stock could do. We'll also take a look at the overall market and how it's been doing to see if we can get an indication of where we could be headed next. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are, and I'd love to share with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. So another small, well not small, decent red day for Palantir. We're down about 5.97%, up a little in the after hours, which is always a good thing to see. So that still puts us at about 5% red on the day, 5.25. So not a great trading day for Palantir overall. But with that being said, let's take a look at, how it was today. So why our stock selling off, we'll take a look at that as well. So right at the get, we gapped down decently. We went from 24s to 22s after I made my video over the weekend, right? Futures came out, futures were down, Nasdaq was down over 1%, so that's always not a good sign to see. But in pre-market, we were pushing up, got rejected at 23.62, pushed up, got rejected at this level. And then we took a breather and then went right back to this level. And what you will see here is we spent a lot of time at this 24 level, finding support, finding resistance, finding support, finding resistance. And then we finally broke below VWAP, and then we went to our next level. And as soon as we broke below the 23.62, what you see is one attempt at coming in, two attempts at coming in, three attempts at coming in. And then we went right back down, and now we are resting up against our next level in the mid 22s, right? The 22.50 level. So let's take a look at Palantir stock, and then I will talk a little bit about the market, and then I will talk about, where the market could be headed next as well. So Palantir, just to go back, if you've been with me here for a while, you know that we were watching this breakout. The breakout happened. We went all the way up to the mid 30s, then we went to the mid 40s, pulled back, ran into earnings. With earnings, what we saw was two things: a surprise loss, which we weren't expecting. That always pushes a stock price down. But also what we got was a lockup expiration, right? So those top executives within Palantir that could not sell their shares when it went public 6 months ago are now able to sell their shares. So we saw a lot of selling pressure on the stock overall. But as I've mentioned in previous videos, right, a lot of these top shareholders are still holding on to a ton of their shares. Yes, they've sold a bunch, but they're holding on to a ton as well, which is, great to see, because that shows you that they believe in the company and in the company's future. So great news for us there that they're holding on. A couple things have been happening that have really pushed the market down. The first one being rotation into depressed stocks, right? So as we get closer to the economy reopening, what we see is depressed stocks like hotels, financials, like your banks, and then, cruises and airlines, your travel related stocks are doing really well now, or starting to, because we're anticipating, right, people starting to travel again. So that's something that we had not seen during the pandemic, and so a lot of money is flowing from there, from here, tech and high growth into there. And then what we're also seeing, you guys, is the fears around the inflation, right? So if inflation goes up, a lot of investors take money from the stock market, and they're now able, or excuse me, if the yield goes up, they're able to take money from the stock market and now essentially get a similar risk-free return if the yield is a lot higher. So that's why the yield going up has been a problem. Although the Fed has come out and said that, it shouldn't be a concern yet. Investors think differently. So we've seen that sell off. So with Palantir, right, you talk about the growth stock selling off, the market selling off, the lockup expiration happening, and the earnings kind of, not working out. That's why we've seen the stock go from trading in the high 30s, even mid 40s briefly, but high 30s, to kind of the low 20s, right? That's what we've seen here. So future levels of support and resistance, what we have coming up is we're right at this 22.52 level. That is the first level of support that we have. Then we've got the 21.50, and then we've got the $20.18. That was our low point on Friday. On the push up, we've got 23.62 and 24.08, two levels that we were kind of spending a lot of time at today. And then after that, we've got 25.39. But one thing I want to point out is, both times that we've been below or between the 24.08 and 25.39 levels, we've stopped at 24.68 and 24.58, right? So mid 24s has been a struggle to get through. So once we get through 24, I'm keeping a kind of an eye on the mid 24s before I, go for that 25. Again, 25 seems to be a hard point to break as well, between 25 and 26. So it'll be really interesting to see how it does there. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at on the downside. Again, 22.52, 21.50, 20, and then on the upside, 23.62, 24.08, and then 25.39. I made a video yesterday highlighting why I really like Palantir, or excuse me, 2 days ago at this point. So if you want, I think it's called, like, is Palantir a buy at $24? It's even I think a better buy today, and why so I outline in that video, right? We're talking about a company, over the weekend actually they announced a partnership with AWS for some of their Foundry, I think it's the Foundry platform. We're talking about the 3M deal, we're talking about the IBM deal, we're talking about the Rio Tinto deal, all these deals that they're coming out with. But not only that, right, if you take a look into their earnings report that we were looking at over the weekend as well, definitely recommend checking that video out if you haven't already. Their customers, their same customers revenue year over year is increasing, I think 30-something%, right? Their quarter over quarter revenues have been increasing. Their year over year revenues are increasing. So a lot of revenues increasing. The customers that they have, they're able to get more money out of. Those revenues are increasing. So again, a lot of things looking really up. And I think once the market starts to turn around, again, we're at 37 RSI. So getting to the oversold levels, but do still have a little bit of run room down. Once the market kind of establishes solid footing and we see the rotation kind of end, stocks start to pick up, growth in tech, I think Palantir will be a great kind of mover, if you will. So my Palantir plays are stock, which I continue to hold, and Leap's going out to 2023. So I've got about 2 years, or I guess 2 years minus 2 months now, for them to work out. And until then, I'm probably going to just sell covered calls to lower that. I've made a video on that as well if you're interested. So I do think, potentially there's downside to the 2150 level, maybe even the 20 level again. I don't personally see us going below 20, although anything can happen in this market that we are in. But we could also just as easily turn around. That's why I've kind of highlighted both sides of the equation here. What I want to focus on here, you guys, is the QQQs. And the reason being it's a tech heavy sector, and it gets us an idea of where we could be headed next. And I think we are at a crucial point right now. And that is this 300 level, right? And the reason I'm sharing this is because I want you guys to also kind of monitor this. And I want to share it with you guys what I see. So back here in September, this is the daily chart on the QQQs, by the way. Back here in early September, late August, mid-October, and mid-November, right? We hit up against 300, barely broke it, went to 303s, went all the way down to 260. Then tried to push up, didn't even make it to 300, made it to 297, pulled back all the way to 260 something. Higher than last time, but still mid 260s. Pushed up, third time, got rejected at 300, pull back, and then fourth time we made it, and then we bounced, came back to bounce, and then we ran up to 338. Now we've given up all those gains pretty much since, December of last year, right? Or really late November when we broke through here. So that's what's really important, this 300 level. We are not at the lowest we've been on Friday. The Friday low was 297.50, 297.45, excuse me. So we do have run room down to there. If, however, we break this 297, then I think we have run room down to 294, as I've highlighted from some of the support and resistance levels here, and then 288 after that. So again, if we break 297.50, assuming tomorrow we go down to visit it, we go down to visit 297.50 like we did on Friday, we don't bounce there. 294 and 288 are next levels, which implies as much of a down day as today, almost 3%. So hopefully we don't see that. Again, I don't want to see red days, but I want to point out what I'm seeing because the market has been looking weak. We are up in the after hours, which is always a good sign. Hopefully futures hold up and we see a green day tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm also pointing out that, hey, here's everything that I see and here's why I think we do have a little bit of downside. The one thing I don't like about today is actually two things I don't like about today. First thing is if you take a look at the candle on Friday, although we go lower, our lowest today was 299. We go to 297 on Friday, so we go lower on Friday. We recovered and we actually ended the day at 308. Here we ended the day at the low point. Our low point was 299.51. We ended the day 299.90. So we were only 40 cents above, whereas here we were almost $10 above our low point, right? So we recovered a lot. Here we sold off and kind of ended the day at the low. The other thing is, over the past 3 days, we've gotten rejected from this 89 EMA. That's the level that I'm talking about that we really, I think, need to capture, which is in the $309 range, and close above that. Because I think if we close above that, then we can establish that as a good level of support, bounce, and start to push up from there. So hopefully, my hope is we make a push towards that 309 level this week, and we establish that as a level of support, and then we start to push up from there as well. But realistically, I'm talking about the downside that I see with the overall weakness and the way that we closed today. After hours is looking good. Fingers crossed it carries on into tomorrow. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Palantir are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.